Happy full moon, everyone. It is the full moon today, or was the full moon this morning. We are in a full moon period, so it still counts. So I'm curious to know if you've got any full moon plans. Do you have any plans for the full moon today? My computer keeps doing weird things and flashing at me. It is a full moon in Aries, so it's quite fiery today. Maybe you feel that. And Truth or Dare is kind of a fiery game as well. So that seems like that lends itself to the full moon happenings. I see that somebody is watching. I wonder if it's Holly, if it's you, Holly, or if it's somebody else. Please say hi to me so that I know that you're here. I like to be able to talk to folks. We've been doing these Facebook Lives since Monday. Today is Wednesday. Yesterday we did hide and seek. The day before that we did, I don't remember what we did. And today we're doing Truth or Dare. And this is all leading up to the program Wicked Games, which is starting on October 25th. And it's a playful way to engage with your inner demons. The inner demons being these like patterns or sticky bits of karma or trauma, whether it's, some self-created or it's ancestral or, it's just basically how you learn to survive. But it is Holly, welcome. But the demons that we're talking about and that we're working with are these places where we just feel stuck. And no matter how much magic we do or how much work we do, shadow work or other kinds of work, therapy, whatever, it just seems to plague us and we can't seem to shake it. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about demons. And in the Wicked Games program, we're going to be engaging with those demons in a really playful way to get some agency back, to renegotiate the contract between you and your demons, so that you can begin to, first of all, have a ton more empathy for all of your parts. So that's really what we're focused on, is creating lots and lots of empathy, cultivating lots and lots of empathy for yourself and for these parts of you that sometimes misbehave. And, they're trying to get our attention, and in fact, they're really devoted to us. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. So yesterday was all about finding the demons, and we did an embodied check-in and we went looking for our demons. We spend the whole first week of the program playing games of hide and seek and finding our demons, finding them in our body, finding them in our dreams. We've got several different prompts, playful prompts for you during the first week to go on this scavenger hunt for your demons within your life. I'm going to take a sip of water. So Holly, you had an anxiety demon that you noticed yesterday. And if you want to, we can begin to play with the anxiety demon today. So as you noticed in your stomach, I believe you said it felt like lava in your stomach. Do you tend to be a really visual person, Holly? Do you have like really vivid dreams, and do you tend to, does it tend to be really easy for you to visualize things? I kind of feel like that's a yes, since you said that it felt like lava in your belly. So oftentimes, one of the things that we're going to do actually in Wicked Games every single day is we're going to do an embodied check-in. And people who tend to be more visual when they do these embodied check-ins tend to speak in images, which is great because that's how your dreams speak too. So we're cultivating a practice in which we tune into the body, and rather than saying I feel anxious or I feel sad or I feel happy or joyful or I feel love, what we're doing instead is we're noticing the sensations. We're finding descriptive words for the sensations in the body. Because once we say that we feel anxious or we feel sad or we feel happy or any of those other words, it's a judgment. We've judged that this sensation in our body is good or bad, preferred or unpreferred. And what happens is, as we work with our nervous system, so that's the other purpose of going through this program, Wicked Games, is to be able to help the nervous system hold more sensation. You can't just decide to hold more joy and not more of any of the other stuff. If you're going to decide to hold more, it comes with everything. So in order to feel more love or more joy or more happiness, you have to be willing to feel more sadness, more rage, more worry, more anxiety. It works both ways. I think Brene Brown is one of the ones where I first heard this. However, it's true. It's not just Brene Brown. She didn't come up with it. But in order to feel joy and connected to joy and to love and belonging and all of those other things that we want to feel, we have to be willing to feel the other things as well. And the more we can feel them in such a way that it doesn't cause us as much distress, the easier it will be to continue, in our relationships or in our jobs or in as parents or any number of places, be able to continue in that role that we've stepped into. So I hope that's making sense. If you have any questions, please let me know. Just drop the questions in the comments below. All right. So, Holly, you identified that you have what you're calling an anxiety demon in your belly. I noticed that I had, based on a dream that I had, that I have, I'm calling him my violation demon. It's this demon that convinces me that if I'm too magnetic and too attractive and if I shine too brightly and I attract too much attention to myself, that I'll be harmed. Something bad will happen to me. And this demon came to me in a dream, and I've been working with this demon, and it seems to be mostly located in my chest. And there's a feeling of rapid movement in my chest at the same time that there's a feeling of heaviness, like a hand is at my chest pressing backwards. So that is the demon that I am currently working with. Now, I've worked with my enmeshment demon. I've worked with my people-pleasing demon. They're kind of the same demon. I've worked with my tormentor demon that loves to just torment me and tell me how horrible I am and how I'll never succeed and all of those things. So those are some common demons. The anxiety demon, of course, is pretty common. The depression demon is pretty common. Lack demon, so, a demon that shows up and convinces you that you will only ever have a certain amount of money or love or time or space or any of the other things that we want in our life that we just can't seem to get beyond a certain threshold. We might call that our lack demon. Of course, you might have different names for these demons as well. So those are just a few common demons. And definitely tune into your body. If you want to go back and watch the hide and seek video, if you didn't catch it, there's a little practice in there for you to go find your demon, to go demon hunting. Let me just check my notes. I want to make sure that I am getting everything that I want to talk about today. Yeah, so just curious if you found your demon yet, and if you have, just drop that in the comments. I'd love to know what it is, where it is in your body. And then we're going to go ahead and do our embodiment check-in. So as part of the Wicked Games program, for 28 days, we're going to do embodied check-ins. Now, I led you on a pretty lengthy one on Monday. It doesn't have to take that much time. You can take that much time every single day if you want to. It's kind of nice to take that time for yourself. But as you do this for 28 days, hopefully you'll get into a habit of doing it, and it will become sort of second nature to you. And you'll do this in practice so that when you are engaging with your demon, especially if you're engaging in play with your demon, especially if you're engaging in play with your demon that is on purpose intended to create sensations in your body, you will be able to check in with your body to find out where your red light is, where your yellow light is, where your green light is, which is just another way to say where's your yes and where's your no. And this is useful, of course, in any number of situations, right? When you're talking to people, when you're just making decisions, when you're trying to expand in any way, when you're figuring out what your boundaries are. It's a good practice to tune into the body. So that's what we do for 28 days, and we're going to do that again now. We'll go a little bit quicker this time. We're just getting more and more into the pace of it. And so if you want to close your eyes, I like to close my eyes because I like to turn my gaze inward. I like to just help my system not get distracted with outside stimuli. So I close my eyes and then I take 3 deep breaths, and these 3 deep breaths are like my portal. It's like me stepping into this place where I am doing my embodied check-in and nothing else matters at this point. So we'll take 3 deep breaths. And now just pay attention to what is alive in your body. Let it come to you. Be willing to wait. Let it come to you. And again, for the purpose of this check-in, we are simply noticing the sensations in the body. We're letting go of any desire or need or urgency to fix or to figure anything out. We're just listening. So as much as you can, when you notice an alive sensation in your body, something that's getting your attention, that's talking to you, see if you can resist a label, resist trying to figure out what it means or trying to do something about it, and simply be with it. If an image comes to mind, that's great. Working with images, holding images, being with images. We will cover that in the program, how to be with those images. If you can find a descriptive word like tingly, heavy, tight, bubbly, that's fine too. And if you can't quite find a word for it, that's okay too. Now, just a reminder that numb and disconnected are also sensations, and they are perfectly welcome. They belong. Okay, so now just start to move your body a little bit. Let yourself know that you're going to come out of this embodied check-in, and you can slowly begin to open your eyes and reconnect here on the screen. And before we go into the truth or dare game, just take a moment to look around your surroundings. turn your head and look all the way around your room and maybe even find something that feels nourishing to you to look at. And one of the reasons we want to do this is because we're about to play Truth or Dare, which is a high sensation game, or it can be. And we want to just remind ourselves that we're safe, that we're in a room where we feel safe. It's safe to play this game. Okay, beautiful. Shane is here. Welcome, Shane. Welcome, welcome, Shane. Did you catch that embodied check-in? And if so, I would love to know what you notice in your body. Shane, I'd also love to know if you are currently working with any of your inner demons, if you've located them, if you know where they are, if you know who they are, what they are. I'd love to know that as well. Okay. So today is Truth or Dare, and we are going to be playing now. We're going to be playing with the demons that we've identified. And so for today, I'm going to be playing with my violation demon. So I want you to just think back on the game Truth or Dare. Do you remember that game from childhood, Truth or Dare? And do you remember how thrilling it was? Like, do you remember the sensations in your body when you played the game with people? And how maybe your cheeks would get really flushed when you had to tell a truth, or maybe you would feel like butterflies in your stomach when someone dared you to do something. And remember how it was sometimes embarrassing, and also it was kind of thrilling at the same time. So I recently completed a fun boot camp with Indigo Esmond, who is with the School of Failure, and it was part of my Failing at Falling in Love project that I did. And so in the fun boot camp, one of the things that I had to do, or that I chose to do, was to make a list of all the things that I wanted to do for fun. And then most of that list was sort of like good girl, nice girl kind of fun stuff. It was fun, but it wasn't really necessarily thrilling. And so one of the things that we did was we tapped into some of these demons that I've been working with to get some more thrilling types of fun. And there is definitely, there's a part of me that really, really loves, I just love, I love not making up my mind. I'm a Gemini. I love not making up my mind. I love trying all the things. And so anyway, we put on the list to go to a, local ice cream place and to try every single ice cream flavor and then leave. I didn't actually do this, but the thought of doing it, because they are not, because of COVID restrictions, they're not doing, it's not that I didn't do it because I'm chickened out, but because they're not doing samples right now because of COVID restrictions. But the thought of doing it in my imagination, and the thought of doing it was so thrilling. It thrilled me to no end. It made me laugh. It made me giggle. It also, I felt really like lots of heart palpitations and lots of like I'm even smiling right now. So I would smile sort of spontaneously. I would feel the butterflies in my stomach. I would feel giggly, like I wanted to giggle. So we can use this imaginal realm oftentimes to go ahead and feel those feelings, just as if we had done that. In fact, actually, that's what our dreams oftentimes will do. We actually can rehearse these types of feelings and feeling these high sensations in our system without actually having to do a thing. So we're going to use the imaginal realm quite a bit in Wicked Games to play these games with our demons. And so some of this stuff will take place in your imagination, and some of these things you can create consent-based containers for you to do experiments out in the world. Okay, so let me give you some more specifics about what I'm talking about here. And I'll walk you through this. This will be week 2 of the program. So this violation demon, right? I had to go slowly meeting this violation demon because my system was not able to hold the sensations in my body around this particular demon. So I had to definitely go slowly. I had to pay attention to my body. I had to listen to the no when the hard no showed up, and I had to back up from it. But as I have been listening to my body, have been paying attention to the signals, have been sort of dipping my toe back in, the demon and I have been playing some truth or dare. And I've been telling it my truth, some of my truths, and it's been telling me some of its truths, which is thrilling in and of itself. So, you know, I learned that this particular demon loves it, absolutely loves it when I surrender, when I submit, when I quit, when I give up. Loves it when I give in and give up and surrender and submit. Totally loves it. And so, you know, like there's so many projects that I have had really great ideas for, and I've gotten about halfway through them, and then I just quit. I quit because I don't have the stamina to keep going, because this demon is like secretly trying to get me to submit. Well, not so secretly, but trying to get me to submit, to give in, and to quit. We got some more people watching, I see. I would love to know who's watching. Just say hi in the comments and let me know that you're watching. So after this truth-telling back and forth, and this thrilling truth-telling, and I mean, you know, it is thrilling when we start to admit to ourselves things that we have not yet admitted to ourselves. And now it was time for me to do dare. And so I've dared my demon to let me just go out there and be as bold and as attractive and magnetic and attention grabbing as I can possibly be. And I even called in Lilith to be able to help me with this. Like, what is the most bold, attention grabbing thing that I can do? And Anna, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad you're watching. Anna and I, you're at magic school, right, Anna? Is that correct? Do I have that correct? I just want to make sure. Sometimes I think people are in different groups. Does that ever happen to you? Like you run into somebody and you're like, oh, did I know you from this place or this place? But I think we're in magic school together. Okay, so I dared my demon. Now, what does my demon get if my demon lets me do this, right? If my demon steps out of the way and forgoes its kicks and its thrills of me quitting, what does it get? So we're working out those negotiations, and I received a dare from my demon actually right before I jumped on, and I haven't written it down yet, and I've forgotten it. So I'm going to have to go back into my body, and I'm going to have to talk to the demon again and see what its dare is. But I'll know that I have fulfilled this. Like I told my demon certain conditions, how I will know that I have fulfilled this, or that it has fulfilled the dare, and then I will submit in a particular container. So here's where we start to talk about the basics of and the principles of kink play and BDSM play. And you don't have to get kinky with your demons if you don't want to. You certainly can, absolutely, but you don't have to. So there are some basics and principles of kink and BDSM that are super helpful when we are working with our nervous system to expand our nervous system. And that is number one that hang on, let me just make sure that I get all of them in here. So I just want to switch over my notes here. So number one is consent, right? I'm consenting to play this game with this demon. I'm saying, yes, I will play this game with you. I will play truth or dare with you. I've also checked in with the demon. It's also consented. So we've got to get consent on board. I think The thing that feels like a violation to us all is when not all of our parts are consenting to do a thing that we want to do, right? Or when we are consenting, or when we decide to do something but we really don't want to do it, when we do it to please somebody else. So consent is super, super important. Next, we set up a container. So the game doesn't go on and on and on and on and on with no end. We set up a particular container. It starts at a particular time and we know when it ends. So for me, with this demon, I know that my container, this dare container, will end. It is complete when I've met certain, it's a certain list. It's this or this or this or this. So just to be completely transparent, it is a certain number of seats sold in Wicked Games per day, or a certain number of followers per day, additional followers per day, or an additional private client, or additional members in my Academy for Wild Dream Magic. So those are the conditions that lets me know that the container is complete. So this doesn't go on and on and on forever and ever and ever. And when those conditions are met, then we end that container. We end that scene. We end that play. Within that container, there's always consent. So I'm always checking in with myself, and I'm always checking in with the demon as well. And we have a red as in stop, a yellow as in pause and check in, and a green system, so that if at any time it gets to be too much for my nervous system, we can pause the play, and then we can either decide to go back in as is, we can change the container, we can just stop altogether and create a new container or no container at all. And then the last part of the principles of kink and BDSM that I think are super, super helpful is aftercare. And I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that on Saturday when we talk about the drop. I got distracted by Anna's comment. Yes, yes. Oh, no, no magic schools for Anna. Okay, all right. Great. Yes, it's been a while since you've been playing in here. Okay, cool. Oh, I know you through Shane. That's it. Okay, now I gotcha. Now I gotcha. I think I know about 15 Annas. So I get a little confused. Thanks for clearing that up. I appreciate that. Okay. So aftercare. Aftercare is super important. So after the container, the play is finished, then there is soothing for the nervous system. So ideally in these play containers of Truth or Dare, or any other game that you set up with your demon, ideally what you're doing are these experiments or these dares where you either in your imaginal realm and or you do these experiments out in the world. So my experiment or my dare out in the world is to do something really bold and to really show up as my full self, and to like do something that feels kind of scary, and kind of reveal myself to the world. And I've done this several times in several different situations, but something that's really bold and magnetic. And I don't know what that is yet. I'm still sitting with what that is. But that's my experiment. And so that is going to nudge the edges of my nervous system, of my capacity to hold sensation in my body. And it's most likely going to trigger some of my wounding around belonging, around love, being loved, around people pleasing, around, being too big for my britches, all of those things. Probably it will trigger also this, it'll trigger the violation, right? That if I'm too big and I'm too magnetic and I'm too attractive, something bad will happen to me. So I know I'm going into this with consent. Yes, I consent to trigger these sensations in my body, and I'm going to do it in a particular container, and I'm going to stay aware, and I'm going to consent along the way, and I'm going to stop the play if I need to stop the play. For the purpose of me being able to be more empathetic with myself, with these different parts of me that want different things, and to be able to expand my nervous system, so that I can hold more joy, more attention, more love, more clients, more, I can hold more. And I know that I will also be holding more anxiety and sadness and worry and all of those other things. So I'm consenting to this. I'm saying yes to this. After the container is over, after I've on purpose triggered all of this stuff, I am going to need some soothing. I'm going to need to rest. I'm going to need a break. I'm going to need a safe space to land. And that's where aftercare comes into play. We're going to talk more about this on Saturday. So this is the time where I stop being out in the world and being bold and being, and triggering all of those things. And I retreat and I do the things that feel really, really soothing to my nervous system. So for me, that's hot baths. It's being in bed and sleeping and dreaming and just doing nothing. It's being out in nature. It's breathing, being with my breath. Sometimes it's chocolate. Sometimes it's Netflix. I'm not going to lie. There's nothing wrong with those things. Those things have been soothing me for decades, and they will continue to soothe me. Do I have other things that help me and that soothe me? Yes, I absolutely do. I love words of affirmation. I love telling myself how brave and amazing and wonderful I am. I'm getting distracted with Anna's comments. Anna, I'm going to go back and read your comments because I want to read what you have to say. So those are the things that soothe me. So those are the things that I will do for myself, and I will make sure that I have carved out time in my schedule to do this so that I'm not just constantly trying to push my nervous system to its limits and beyond its limits. Because guess what? If I go beyond my nervous system's limits, I'm going to end up binge watching Netflix anyway. So I might as well do it in a particular container where I don't have as far to crawl back from. Let me know if this makes sense to you. I'm going to go and read Anna's comments. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Let me know if this is making any sense to you. Yeah, it's a lot of Anna's, Anna. Our worth gets shaken up when we test our boldness. It absolutely does. All kinds of self-worth comes up around that, which is why it's so, 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 so important to make sure that you have your aftercare container set up. So that might be, making sure that I'm hanging out with a friend. And I can even state to that friend, hey, can you really hype me up today? Like, I would really love some words of affirmation. That might be making sure that I don't have anything scheduled on a particular day so that I can just do absolutely nothing. I can just go where the flow takes me. I can go on a walk. I can take a bath. I can lie in a hammock out in nature. I can go to a museum. I can create some art, whatever it is that I want to do. Anna says, I'm now understanding the necessity of stretching ourselves and how our nervous system really rivets and rattles. Oh, yes, 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 yes. And the way that our culture is set up, it really is, it just does not have the, it doesn't have the value or the empathy really around this understanding of our nervous systems, and it's really designed, or we're told to just sort of like go, 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 push, 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 and we burn out and we go out of our nervous systems, and we get sick, or we self-soothe with things that aren't very healthy for us. Our relationships suffer, all kinds of things suffer when we do this, when we keep pushing. Yeah, I would love to know, Anna, how you soothe yourself. What feels good to you? Yeah, I have a super sensitive nervous system as well, which is one of the reasons why I am and have been on purpose with consent in a container that's playful and full of empathy have been it's like working out my nervous system. It's like I'm exercising my nervous system, right? So lots and lots of empathy, lots and lots of pleasure, lots of playfulness, to on purpose with consent, and tons of empathy and tons of soothing afterwards, built in afterwards, so that I can actually strengthen my nervous system and widen or expand my nervous system, instead of just continuing to re-violate myself over and over and over and over again, and then wonder why I can't get past a certain space in my life, or can't seem to handle certain situations, or I shut down in certain with certain sensations that come into my body. So for me, this is another aspect of shadow work. It's another way to be able to to function at the level that I want to function, to create the life that I want to create. Okay, so that is it for today. That is what I got for you with Truth or Dare. Again, if you missed hide and seek yesterday, that's where we found our demons. So we basically take a don't like situation in our lives. What is a situation in our lives where we've felt some stickiness around it, or it seems to plague us? It's this thing that just always happens to us again and again and again. So I was telling you how I start projects all the time, and I have really great, wonderful ideas and hopes and dreams, and then I get to a certain point in the project and I give up, because I have this demon that tells me if you're too attractive, if you're too magnetic, if you draw too much attention to yourself, something bad will happen. And so it's been this pattern since college, where I start things and I don't follow through and I don't complete the thing, because this demon is whispering in my ear that I can't, be too attractive, because something bad will happen. So I've been playing with this demon and creating a different set of rules for us to play together. And I've been approaching this demon with lots and lots and lots of empathy. So that's my don't like situation and my demon that I'm currently playing with. I would love to know a demon that you're currently playing with. What is a don't like situation that you have in your life that might be because you have a really devoted demon that loves you so much and doesn't want to leave your side, that maybe you just need to renegotiate your contract with, or renegotiate how you engage with each other, and engage with each other in a little bit of a different container. Self-sabotaging patterns. Yeah. So yeah, let's, get into a place of empathy with, even with this phrase self-sabotaging. So the self-sabotaging sounds like a demon, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like there's a part of me that is on purpose sabotaging myself? Like, what? So what if I gave this part of me, what if I, went ahead and like animated it, let it be fully possessed, and I said, okay, what is it that you love to feel? What is it about this self-sabotage that you just love to feel? For my demon loves it when I give up and when I submit. It's sort of a dom like that. It likes to be a little bit of a dominatrix, or a dom in some way. So it loves it when I surrender. It loves it when I submit. It loves it when I give in. So that's what it loves, loves, loves to feel. So I want my demon to be able to, like, even as I say that, I know that I love that feeling too. I love giving up. There is a part of me that loves giving up. It really, really does. So how can I give that part what it wants, while at the same time making sure that I get to complete these projects that are really important to me, that I really want to do? I have a podcast that I am determined to put out into the world. I have a book that I am determined to put out into the world. So there are these things that are very important to me that I do want to follow through on. So how can I create a different container where everybody can get what they want? That's what we're working with. Toxic mirroring. Yeah. Oh, so okay, so demon resides within your husband. Yeah, so what happens is, so I'm actually I'm single, I don't have a partner, and so many of my demons will tend to project themselves out onto friends or onto sometimes my daughter. So it sounds like, Anna, that your demon is projecting itself out onto your husband. That's so typical. That's so typical for demons. And so there's probably some of your husband's demons that are projecting themselves onto you as well. And I bet that they are actually, they might even be like two horns of the same demon, because polarity, because there's the natural law of polarity. So we're always, when we find one thing, we're always going to find the polarity for it as well. So that's so interesting. Yeah, and as you work with your demon, I'm curious what will happen to the way that it gets projected out onto your husband, or how your husband tends to show up differently, because you don't have to project that demon onto him anymore. So interesting. So all of this, just a heads up, all of this is absolutely inspired by the Little Book of Demons by Ramsey Dukes. I I wouldn't say that it's a great book. It's a great book. It is a good book. It's a fun read. It definitely helps you understand demons a little bit better. The thing that I found lacking in the book was like any sort of like, here are actual steps to engaging with your demons. So after I read the book and like a couple of times looking for those steps, I kind of invented my own steps. And so that's what this program became. So definitely check out the book if you want to know more about demons. And it totally goes into these demons that tend to get projected out when we have partners. It also goes into demons that are collective demons, right? That tend to show up in the world as things like racism, or homophobia, or misogyny, or any of these other like anti-vaxxers, like any of this other stuff that you feel like you don't like. That would be a demon that is showing up collectively for you. So Ramsey Dukes goes into all of that. So if you're interested, it's the Little Book of Demons by Ramsey Dukes. You can read it, you can not read it. You don't need to read it, but it is interesting. Thank you, Anna. Yes, I will get through it. Absolutely. For sure. Okay, so that's it for today. I want to just let you know that talk to us about the workshop that they're going to be doing at the end of this. That signs up for Wicked Games. It's going to be at the end of the program. And we're going to be doing a living death funeral. This is such powerful, potent magic. And we're going to talk to you more about what that looks like tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're going to be doing pretend, or role playing, if you will, which is the third week of the program. And then we're going to be talking on Saturday about the drop. So we'll be talking more about and I'll explain to you what the drop is, along with the aftercare, and that'll be the whole last week of the program ending, which is our Die a Living Death funeral on November 20th. So Wicked Games starts on Monday coming up. It's 28 days. You get an email each day from me with some information, with some prompts or tasks for you to do. They're easy, they don't take a lot of time, they really encourage rest, going at your own pace, doing it in a way that feels good to you. It encourages a lot of consent. So you'll get those emails for 28 days. There is a group, a forum on Mighty Networks where you can come in and you can be part of the community and share what's going on with your process. And then we do have dream circles every Saturday at 1 p.m. Central, where we share. One of the ways that we talk to our demons and we get messages is through our dreams. So these dream circles are a way to help you understand what your dreams are bringing you. There are 3 dream circles every Saturday, 1 p.m. Central. The Living Death Funeral is also on a Saturday, November 20th at 1 p.m. So 4 Saturdays at 1 p.m., 90 minutes for everything. You can show up to the dream circles, you can not show up to the dream circles, show up to one of them, 2 of them, 3, none, whatever works for you. They will be recorded and put in the forum. And that's all the details of the program. I will leave the program, the sales page in the comments so you can check out more about it. And I think that's it. That's everything on my notes. Thank you everybody who's been watching. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you commenting and being in villain and playing with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And if this program feels like a good fit to you, of course, just follow the link of the sales page and you can purchase right from there. Of course, if you have any questions about the program or you want to get on a call with me, I'm available for that as well. All right, thank you and sweet dreams, everyone. Bye.